Oh, why don't we talk like that anymore, by the way? That's Earl Weaver, probably the most famous and memorable baseball manager in history. And he is the subject of a new book by local journalist and author John Miller.
That book is The Last Manager, How Earl Weaver Tricked, Tormented, and Reinvented Baseball. And John is with us here today. So first of all, congrats on getting on the New York Times bestseller list.
Incredible.
Thank you. It's
That's so exciting.
Huge thrill. I mean, who knew? Yeah, a book about a dead baseball manager.
Well, and you wrote the obituary for the Wall Street Journal in 2013 for Earl Weaver. So is that when you started taking a closer look at him?
Yeah, my family's from Baltimore. I grew up in Belgium, but I always loved the Orioles as the grandson of Baltimoreans, and would go there in the summer to watch Orioles games. And first saw Earl Weaver when I was 9 years old and was impressed by the craziness, the clown aspect, the theatricality of this man who could get whole stadiums to rise to their feet. I mean, like a professional wrestler almost in his theatricality. And so when he died, I was asked to write his obituary, and as I was writing it, I thought, why has nobody properly examined the legacy of this transformative, celebrated manager?
And even the title of your book, The Last Manager, why did you want to say it in that way? Why did you want to phrase it that way?
It's kind of an argument. I mean, managers today are not as powerful or as famous as people like Earl Weaver, Billy Martin, Sparky Anderson, Jim Leland were in the 70s and 80s. Back then, they basically ran the entire organization. Now they're part of a big org chart with a general manager, trainers, therapists, agents, and they're kind of at the middle, more like a CEO. In the old days, they were more like dictators with their iron fist.
Yeah.
And when in your book, you talk about sort of the baseball before Earl Weaver and baseball after. And so how did he change the sport?
So he came from this world of train travel, and the team that he grew up with, the St. Louis Cardinals in the 30s, they had their own cowboy band. They played vaudeville in the off season, more of like a carnival, like a circus almost. And then when he retired, they were traveling on jet planes. There was free agency. And when he started, the minimum major league salary was $7,000 a year.
Wow.
And so he was the only manager who was with his team during this incredible transformation with Marvin Miller, who was from Pittsburgh as the head economist for the United Steelworkers, went to New York, became the head of the Major League Baseball's Players Union, and brought in this era of $1 million salaries and free agency. And Earl Weaver was there for it all. So his story is kind of the story of baseball and America in many ways.
Yeah.
Is there anything that really surprised you when you were doing your research and writing the book?
Yeah, so his upbringing, he grew up in St. Louis in the 30s, Great Depression, this world of crowded streets, taverns, bookies. He was raised in large part by an uncle who was basically in the mob, who was a bookie who ran baseball betting operations. So he learned his analytics from gambling. And obviously now this is all legal. You can do it on your phone, DraftKings, FanDuel. Back then it was the informal economy that was run by the mob in places like St. Louis and Pittsburgh. And so his education was this kind of street hustlers, gambling sense of math. And that's what led to his intuitive use of numbers and analytics. He's mentioned in the book Moneyball as a pioneer of this stuff, and he learned it from gambling. So that was the biggest surprise.
Maybe that's why stalking after the umpires, stealing bases.
Yeah.
There was a darkness of violence to him that is explained by his upbringing in this, by this shadowy character, for sure.
And I know now you're also the coach for the Alderdice baseball team.
Yeah, since last fall. I'm the head coach at Alderdice High School. We're 4-2 in the spring season.
All right.
Very exciting. Lots of great players. Looking forward to the rest of the spring. Come on out, watch a game.
You got to pick up this book too. Thank you so very much for coming on.
Yeah, and congrats on making the list.
It's incredible. Yeah. Incredible feat.
Well, John's book, The Last Manager, is on sale now wherever books are sold, and we'll be right back with more Talk Pittsburgh.